Threads has burst onto the scene, and the excitement is palpable. With an astonishing 30 million signups in just a short time, including prominent brands, celebrities, and journalists, it's clear that Threads has captured the attention of many. The launch of Threads feel like the first day of school, with eager early adopters rushing to try out the app and share their first post. As of Thursday morning, Threads was the top free app on Apple's App Store and a top trending topic on Twitter. The question on everyone's mind is whether Threads can dethrone Twitter, and the early buzz seems to suggest a fierce battle ahead. Let's find out. It's an exciting time for social media enthusiasts and users alike. Will Threads emerge as the new Twitter killer, or will Twitter maintain its dominance in the face of this formidable competition? Only time will tell. And we are here to analyze and dissect every move in this thrilling contest. I sat down with Mugdha to discuss this new debutant app in the tech jungle.
There was much ado about an online spat pitting Elon Musk against Mark Zuckerberg in a cage fight. But the biggest showdown will be in the hands of social media users later this week, according to tech analysts.
Talk about taking advantage of your competition while your competition is down. Twitter has been a never-ending slow-motion train wreck for months.
Zuckerberg's Meta, the company formerly known as Facebook, will roll out Threads, a social media platform that some are already calling a Twitter killer. We've already seen Blue Sky, Mastodon, and Trump's Truth Social, but Meta has something the other rivals don't.
I'm Ankur, and you're listening to the News Park. Hi Mugdha, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good too, thanks. So Mugdha, Mark Zuckerberg recently introduced Threads, a new app developed by the Instagram team that focuses on sharing with text. What are your initial thoughts about this new development?
Yeah, Instagram has always been synonymous with sharing photos and videos, but now they're expanding into texting. That's new.
Yeah, and interesting.
So let's start with what is Threads? I'm sure everyone wants to know everything about it.
hmm So Threads is a new app from parent company of Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp. The platform looks a lot like Twitter, with a feed of largely text-based posts, although users can also post photos and videos, where people can have real-time conversations. It seems like they're aiming to create a positive and creative space for people to express their ideas.
And similar to Twitter, can the users reply to repost and quote others' thread posts?
Yes, they can.
And there will be both public and private thread accounts.
Yes, again. And verified Instagram account are automatically verified on Threads.
Similar to what Instagram offers for visual content.
Correct. Yes. And I think Meta wants to leverage the popularity and user base of Instagram to create another profitable venture.
And Meta has one leg up on Twitter because of the size of the existing user base.
hmm can you recall the size of Instagram users for our listeners?
Yes, there are more than 2 billion global active Instagram users.
And how much is it compared to Twitter?
Twitter's active user base is somewhere around 250 million. So you see, there's a large difference
hmm And as a result, there is direct rivalry between,
between Zuckerberg and Twitter's Elon Musk.
yes. And Twitter CEO Linda said, we are often imitated, but the Twitter's community can never be duplicated.
Yeah, so what can you tell us about Threads and its impact on Twitter?
Yes, everyone's calling Threads as Meta's Twitter killer.
It does feel more or less than Twitter, right?
Yeah, but except few features.
Which are?
So for starters, you cannot message other users directly on Threads.
Oh yes, on Twitter you can.
hmm So do you think Twitter has a danger?
I think yes, because Meta has a history of introducing new features based on the success of rival platforms.
Like what?
Like Instagram's adoption of stories in response to Snapchat's popularity.
Correct. And also the introduction of Reels to compete with TikTok.
Yeah, exactly. Meta has a track record of observing emerging trends and then incorporating successful features into their own platforms.
Hmm. and it has largely gained so much popularity.
Yeah. Threads acquired 10 million new users overnight. I mean, can you imagine that?
Yeah, and celebrities like Jennifer Lopez and Kim Kardashian have already joined Threads.
Yeah, that's so cool. But now let's get into the actual tech part. Let's compare Twitter and Threads.
Okay, all right, let's do it.
So, what does Threads have that Twitter doesn't?
Hmm. Couple of things actually. So the first thing is, of course, Instagram integration. So you create your Threads profile using your Instagram profile. So you're already bringing the user base that you have on Instagram onto Threads. So you don't have to actually search on Threads to follow people or make your profile visible and stuff. Whoever people you are following on Instagram are automatically you follow on Threads, and same for the people who follow you.
Hmm.
Second thing is decentralization support. So, what does this mean? It means that all the user information, including the followers and user data, are stored on independent servers rather than those operated privately by a single company. This is the way Meta currently runs Facebook and Instagram too. And it gives users more freedom to take their followers and information when they leave the service. Uh, the next thing is rate limiting. I don't know whether you know it or not. This week, Elon Musk added a rate limiting on how many posts verified and unverified people can see on Twitter. But there's no such rate limiting on Threads, so that's a good thing probably.
That's actually interesting to know.
So now, do you want to talk about what Twitter has and Threads don't?
What Twitter has and Threads don't. Yes, I actually noted a few things which Threads lack. For instance, follower feed. Right now, there's just the one main algorithm feed, which includes posts from people you follow and others that are popular on the service. You can't see a feed of just the people you follow or a purely chronological feed.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's also edit button. You cannot edit your post after you've posted.
Oh yeah, and Twitter you can do that, right?
Exactly. You can do that on Twitter. And then search. You can search for other accounts, but not for words contained in posts. There
Hmm.
is also no support for hashtags yet.
Okay.
Yes. And then there's also a direct messaging feature. You cannot send private messages through Threads.
Mm-hmm.
You'll have to head back to Instagram for that.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, how can I forget ads? There are no ads on Threads. At least for now, there are none. The priority for this launch is to make the app as great as possible for consumers and creators.
That's a long list, but I guess it's a new app and it'll take time for it to get all the things in place, right?
Yeah, for sure. But one another thing that people are talking about is privacy.
Yeah, and Meta isn't known for privacy. That was actually one of the first things that I thought when I installed the application.
Oh, you installed the application?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So check the Threads listing in the Apple App Store and you'll see that Meta collect loads of data from the app about health and fitness, purchases, financial info, location, contacts. I mean, the list goes on. But this is Meta we're talking about. I mean, if you have been a Facebook or Instagram user, you already know that it has built up quite a bit of data about you over the years. So, I mean, expect this to be just another app that feeds onto that.
Yeah, that's true.
So now let's finally talk about the major question. Is Threads a Twitter competitor or not?
Very early to say that. It surely looks like the closest thing to it. Threads has an edge over most Twitter competitors because it uses Instagram to immediately build your following and populate your feed. Today, there was a news that Twitter is planning to take legal action against Threads for stealing its trade secret. So I guess Twitter surely considers Threads as a competitor.
Yeah, I read that news as well. Well, only time will tell which one of this major league has come on top. But thanks so much, Ankur, for discussing this topic today.
For sure. Thank you so much. Threads app looks like Twitter, but the app has brought a lot of easy to use features from Instagram and Facebook together. But Twitter had its own vibe, and it's not easy to be able to recreate what Twitter has because that culture accumulated over years and years and years. Threads is so tied to Instagram in terms of functionality, even just the branding. The associations that we are all making when we talk about it, it's difficult to detach it from Instagram or Facebook for that matter. I think currently Threads look like a spin-off from an existing app, but only time can tell how successful this new venture will be for Meta. Thank you for listening. See you next time.